podcasts.
Are you zoomed out? Netflix wants too many? Welcome to the Carlos Watson Show, a brand new TV show from Ozzy. We get deep and real with Andrew Yang.
What would you have done differently to actually have won the whole thing?
Well, I would have hung out with you a little bit more.
Sean Spicer.
Saying Black Lives Matter doesn't make anyone's life better.
Hey, leave the bullshit at the door as we bring you the conversations you need to hear to make sense of this crazy year. Join me, Carlos Watson, on the Ozzy YouTube channel, or listen to the podcast version on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you listen.
Thanks for listening to the best of Outkick the Coverage podcast. Be sure to catch us live every weekday morning from 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern, 3 to 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Find your local station for Outkick the Coverage at foxsportsradio.com or stream us live every morning on the iHeartRadio app by searching FSR.
This is the best of Outkick the Coverage with Clay Travis on Fox Sports Radio.
All right, let me bring in the crew. Have you guys, I'll start with you, Eddie, because you're a huge college football fan, I know as well. Have you been following this on social media? Have you seen anything this is vintage college football. As crazy as college football games can be for those of us who are huge college football fans, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like the twists and turns of the last 24, 48 hours as a season is battled for. It's just flat out head spinning.
Yeah, and I don't know how much this influenced everything, if all of this was in the works already, but the Mid-American Conference announcing that they were not going to have a football season, I don't know if that helped the wheels turn anymore or not. And also the Big Ten, look, if they don't want to play football, it's up to their institutions if they want to make that decision as a collective, but trying to get everyone else on their side so they don't look so bad is a weasel move.
It totally is, and that's what they're trying to do. They are basically using the media to try to let everybody know what decision they are going to make to try to force other conferences to get in line so that they don't come in for complete criticism over their decision. Dub, you're a huge college football fan as well. Is this totally wild to you?
It is, and this is like the classic, everyone's mom tells you this when you're growing up. If your friends jumped off the bridge, would you do it? No.
Yes.
The Big Ten right now is trying to jump off a bridge, and they're trying to make everybody else follow suit, and I think it's ridiculous. If they don't want to play, that's fine, but leave everybody else out of it because, that's just not right or smart, in my opinion, to be like, oh, we don't want to play. Hey, SEC, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12, come on over on our side. Y'all shouldn't want to play either.
Yeah, right. It's like they don't have the stones to do the decision themselves, so they're trying to leak political pressure out on everybody else to say, oh, the season's totally done for, there's no way we can play, might as well just go ahead and throw in the towel. And it's as if they're trying to create the environment that they want to exist by using the media to try to drive the cancellation of the sport. And the players and administrators are pushing back. Now, I think the thing that could take it to the next level today, and there are a lot of coaches that start off their morning listening to us, I think what could take it to the next level is college football coaches coming out and tweeting hashtag we want to coach or we want to play, and making it clear that they actually want to be able to be active here as well. Danny G, you ever see anything like it?
Never. I spent all day following this yesterday, and I think it's really clear that most of the players feel safest inside their football facilities.
That's right.
And a lot of the argument yesterday obviously was if the Big Ten folds, it's going to be a house of cards, and then the SEC fans jump in, which I love, saying, not so fast, we're going to play.
Yeah, well, the Big Ten is just trying to put pressure on everybody else. Let's go ahead, and we got a ton of people who want to weigh in, and you can ask questions. Look, this is a fluid situation, so there's no such thing, I think, as a bad question. I want to allow my audience out there, all 50 states, for people to weigh in and ask questions about this situation because it is so wild, and I believe we go to the VIP first, and it's somebody who's an Outkick VIP in Japan. Is that right, Danny?
Yeah, military man Jacob in Japan.
Military man Jacob calling in from Japan. So, Jacob, first of all, thanks for the service. Secondly, are you following this story as wildly and crazily as everybody else is while serving overseas?
Yes, sir. Heck, I love the show. I'm losing my mind over here. I just can't imagine, as we go through the fall, the college football season. My question is, because of Title IX, if they cancel the college football season in the fall, will they have to move all of the women's fall and winter sports to the spring to compensate for that?
Yeah, it's a smart question. I think it's not just college football. If they cancel college football, they are going to cancel all sports for all men and women all the way until the fall of 2021. That is, football is getting all the focal point, but there are going to be no college sports that are taking place, in my opinion. If college football gets shut down, they aren't just shutting down college football. It's an important point, because college football is what the vast majority of us watch. But they will be shutting down college basketball. Will potentially have, I believe, likely have a second straight season without March Madness. We're talking about basically 18 months of no college athletics. So from the point of when they shut down back in March all the way until August or September a year from now, there will be no college athletics that are able to be played by any men or any women at any college in America. And the reason why that would be the case is the environment is not going to change and suddenly become quote-unquote safer or safe enough for these Big Ten presidents until there's a vaccine. And there's not going to be a vaccine that young, healthy college kids get until a long time from now. The college kids will probably be some of the last people to have access to a vaccine. And that's assuming we have a vaccine that works, which is still an uncertainty. And so this is a massively important battle that is being fought now, not just for college football players, but for any college athlete in America who hopes to play their sport between now and what I believe would likely be the fall of 2021, because I think best case scenario, all these college kids wouldn't get a vaccine until we get into the late spring or early summer of 2021. So we're talking about actually being able to play games not until 2021.
This is Outkick the Coverage with Clay Travis.
Hi guys, I'm Katie Lowe's, actress, mom, and host of the parenting podcast, Katie's Crib, a show that helps women navigate the big shifts which motherhood can bring. This season, you'll hear from resilient mamas like actress Gabrielle Union, thought leaders like author of the New York Times bestseller Untamed, Glennon Doyle, and experts like prenatal and postpartum clinical psychologist Dr. Alyssa Berlin. We get candid about our experiences and share resources for everything parenting: endometriosis, surrogacy, divorce and blended families, emotionally preparing for postpartum. Katie's Crib is covering it all. For a dose of comfort and community with those who understand the struggles and the joys of raising tiny humans, subscribe now for brand new episodes every other Thursday. Listen to Katie's Crib on the iHeartRadio app or on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Leah Remini, and I am joined by Mike Linder, and we are very excited to announce that we are continuing our journey with a new podcast called Scientology Fair Game. What is fair game?
Right. Fair game is a term in Scientology that is used to describe, or was used to describe, the taking care of, and that's the euphemistic term, threats and enemies of Scientology. What it really is a series of writings and policies, directives by L. Ron Hubbard that lay out how you go about destroying someone who is an enemy of Scientology.
Listen to Scientology Fair Game on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcast, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
There is a lot going on right now, but there's a lot. It's hard to even keep up with all of the chaos that is going on right now in college athletics. It's hard for me to keep up, frankly, with how quickly this story is moving. But for those of you who are just waking up right now, over the weekend, the Big Ten presidents began to try to make moves to cancel the college football season. They are trying to come out and aggressively attack the existence of college athletics. College football, obviously, in particular, is getting much of the attention. But this is about something much bigger than college football. Basically, if you are a college athlete, the Big Ten is trying to shut down all college athletics, basically for the fall, but I think that will roll into the spring as well if you actually look at the data and analyze the situation. And so at best, we're probably talking about a return to college athletics next year at this same time. Well, players have become aware of what is going on, and they have used this opportunity to raise up their voices with the hashtag #WeWantToPlay rallying cry. And many different players from all different sports, but in particular being led by college football, and in particular being led by Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback of Clemson, and Justin Fields, the quarterback of Ohio State. They have all come together and said, we want to play, find testing mechanisms that make sense, and let's do this. It is a massively trending story right now in the world of sports. Everything is moving in warp speed right now. You have got some political leaders that are now coming out publicly and endorsing those players who want to play. Marco Rubio, senator from Florida, is now in favor. Even before COVID-19, he says many of those pushing to cancel college football have spent years trying to kill youth and high school football as a way to end the game. They have no interest in getting to yes or in an honest cost-benefit analysis of playing or not playing. So I want to extend an offer to Senator Marco Rubio to come on the show and publicly endorse what he has done on Twitter. Any other senator, governor, political figure who wants to lend his voice to this movement is welcome on my show and is encouraged to reach out sooner rather than later. The battle is being fought right now. Your voice, if you are a parent, if you are an athlete, if you are a politician, and you are interested in college sports existing this fall, has never been more important or paramount than right now. I am opening up the phone lines. We are having a robust First Amendment debate here about the return of college athletics and why they matter and some of the extenuating circumstances. 877-996-6369 is the phone number. You can weigh in as well. Let's go in and start to take some of those calls. I'll answer any questions that you have. Straightforward. I am aggressively in favor of the return of college sports. I'm not tiptoeing up to this position. For those of you who've been listening to me for a very long time, I am not only in favor of the return of college sports, I'm in favor of the return of sports, period. I am returning to sports in my own life. My kids are playing sports this fall. My kids are returning to in-person school this week. At least my kindergartner and my 7th grader are. My hope is that in 2 weeks, I think they're recalibrating. My kids, 2 of them go to public school, and they are making a decision on the return of older kids to school on Friday. But in the meantime, my kindergartner and my 7th grader will both be in in-person school this week. I am also going to have my kids. We're signed up to play sports this fall. My kids have been going to camps. They have been, during the course of this summer, the camps that are open, sports camps, everything else. I am living my life as I am telling you that I believe college athletes should be living theirs. I am not being shy about sharing with you those exact factors from my own life. So people out there are like, oh, well, you're being a hypocrite. You're just sitting on the radio talking. No, I am living a public life in the same way that I'm encouraging athletes to do the same. So let's get in there. Let's take some of your calls. I believe that college athletes are safer on campus being tested regularly than they would be as a part of their seasons than they would